Hi. So I've been really into watching uh, people's guitar collections on YouTube here lately, and I figured that I have some stuff that I think's pretty cool, and I hope that you'll think's pretty cool. Um, so I'm just gonna go ahead and run through. I'll probably make this into two parts because I've got like 20 something different things I'm probably going to show off. I'll probably split it 10 and 10. Um, so if you want to see the next section, part two, subscribe. And then if you like this video, like it, and I hope you do, and stick around for more. Here's my Bowden Essential in blue. Um, this is relatively new kind of thing. Um, I did change the pickups out. There really wasn't anything wrong with the other pickups. They actually sounded pretty good, but I just wanted white. I really thought it would make it pop. I put some cheap pearl inlay like knobs on here. But yeah, because this used to be my main thing that I would keep next to me and pick up just to play. Like if I had a couple minutes, I'd pick this up and crank out some scales or whatever. But this thing is really awesome. Like out of the box, it came set up. I haven't done anything to it. I mean, yeah, this thing is pretty sick. I keep it in E flat, because like I said, the other Strandberg I keep in E now, so that way I have something. Uh, so most of my Floyd equipped guitars are in E flat, so now that's over there, and now I have a hardtail in E So next up, we got my Ormsby GTR 6 Goliath, I think Goliath GTR 6. Um, this thing's pretty cool. I really didn't like the way the pickups in this sounded when I got it, and I'm not like a big like pickup kind of guy. Like I know the last two I just showed have like upgraded pickups, but something about these just didn't sit right. So I got this tuned the D standard, or Upsy. Yeah, so I think it's got a toe cutter in the bridge and a cornucopia. Uh, they are custom shop Ormsby pickups that I had to order from Australia. So that was fun. If you ever have to order anything from Australia, you have to fill out like 35 forms at the post office because I had to send them back because apparently this one's like a run where the bridge pickup was cut size different and they had to do some weird stuff on there. But I don't know. I never really connected with this. It sounds pretty good now. Yeah, I mean it sounds pretty good. Um, but yeah, I think this one I got this up for sale on Reverb. So if you want this, uh, go on Reverb, type this in, and buy it. Because like I said, it is pretty sick. All right, now we got one of the big dogs. This is my Kiesel Osiris uh, with a tremolo. This thing is pretty freaking sick. Um, It's got a Pale Moon Ebony fretboard. It's got the 7-piece neck on the back. It's got some really wild looking top. Um, it's got the lithium pickups in it, I believe. Um, yeah, dude, this thing is sick. Or whatever pickups it is, it's got a battery, so I think it's the lithium though. But this thing, I wasn't a super big fan of it. I got this used at Guitar Center. Um, it had a price drop. They were trying to sell it for like $3,200 and dropped it down to $1,800. So I jumped on it, and this thing is absolutely disgusting. And I don't think I could ever get rid of this. Like I said, I wasn't a big fan of the green, but this thing has really grown on me in probably the last little over a year that I've had it. So obviously set up in drop C. Yeah, like I said, this thing is just all right. Last up in the headless category, this is an eArt, um, Amazon special Chinese headless deal. But actually, so I think these things like $350 on Amazon on sale, a regular price. I got this one used on Amazon, like return. Like I said, I don't know if you can tell this or not, but most of the stuff that I buy is used. So, you know, like I said, that's kind of my thing. But this thing is really out the box pretty good. I found out about these from the guy that worked on my guitar like one time, like the luthier's like God's gift to the earth. Anyway, long story short, he had one of these things and he put some Fishmans in it or whatever. And I said, it sounds fine. Oh, hold on. Anyway, like I was saying, this thing sounds fine. But like I said, so I've got some stickers on here. If you can tell, it's the notes. I've really been trying to. That's one of my goals for 2025 is to like have a better fretboard visualization and note memorization and navigation. So I figured I'd pick one of these up so that way I could slap some stickers on there and not really worry about it. But yeah, that's enough for this thing. Like I said, it functions. So actually, it stays in tune pretty good. Like I said, it's actually a fairly high quality. If you haven't heard about these, I'd recommend it. So this is my 1987 Pacer. I believe it is a Custom One American Series, made by ESP, all the parts, and then assembled in the United States. This thing's pretty sick. I have a lot of, I really like the 80s style guitars. That's my favorite, the 80s like glam metal sort of era stuff. All those, yeah, really all that stuff's pretty sick to me. But yeah, so this is a real 1987 Shredder Kramer, nice, super duper. Yeah, so like I said, you can really get your hair metal action sort of thing going on with this thing. And like I said, as far as I know, everything's original. Um, this was another Guitar Center find. Um, yeah, like I said, this thing sounds great. Yeah, definitely didn't never get rid of this one. All right, well, I guess there hasn't really, or I guess there has been a pattern that I've been doing here. But so this is a Kramer E1K-BF. The F means that's got a net pickup. Basically, it's a Beretta. Uh, Also made, this is a Japanese model, so made in Japan. Still very high quality. This one doesn't have an original Floyd on it, but it's got a Floyd that's actually pretty decent. I mean, but dude, look at this thing. I mean, it's got the natural aged white sort of thing going on. And like I said, how do you pick this thing up, or do you see this thing and not want to go? But yeah, like I said, this thing is absolutely sick. Um, but yeah, I also think this is one of those ones that I'm currently got up for sale. Uh, like I said, I've got the other Kramer Pacer, and it just kind of does everything that this does, and it's just not getting the love that it deserves from me. So if you want to get this, go on Reverb and type in EK1BF something, some combination of those letters, and you should find this. Buy it. So here we have a Jackson Virtuoso USA guitar here. This thing is sick. This is probably one of the first high quality. Like I said, I mean, dude, this thing is absolutely sick. It weighs like 1,000,000 pounds, but I don't care. This thing is sick. Like I said, 1,000,000 pounds. That's why I got the big, thick pillow strap on it. But dude, this thing is absolutely sick. If it had stainless steel frets, that's the only thing I can say that's not very, But this thing is smooth. The neck is perfect. It's just quality. That's that roasted maple back neck with regular maple 5-piece. Oh, and if you've seen some of these, that's the only thing about this one in particular. The streaking on the fretboard isn't like super like wild. I've seen some of these that are absolutely disgusting with how how the fretboard looks, but like I said, this is one of the things that I haven't touched this thing in a while, but this is why I know I'll never get rid of it, because I just sat down right here and cranked out Bark at the Moon, and this thing is absolutely sick. The only thing I did is put one of those EVH super slick pots in here, and this thing is a dream. Get one of these. Absolutely disgusting. So, switching gears here a little bit. This is a Nashville Tele, made in Mexico, like a 2020. Nothing really special about this guitar other than it's Nashville. I wanted to see if I really liked a Tele style, and I do, but I just feel like this is a little too versatile. I said, I just kind of want like an older vintage ear style Tele. Like I said, this thing looks great, plays really nice, incredible instrument. Like I said, very versatile, but I think I'm gonna try to get rid of this. Um, yeah, if you can't tell, those noiseless pickups really do a good job. But yeah, like I said, I'll probably get like a older Tele or like a reissue vintage or something. Like, I'm not a big fan of these Fender like sort of plasticky necks, if that makes any sense. Like, I kind of like the gloss on like some of the older Fenders, like 90s, early 2000s. But like I said, this thing is awesome. This is a 1988 or 89 American Standard. This is a reverse Silverburst. I think these things are actually kind of rare. I think I've only ever seen like 3 or 4, and I know if you Google this, it'll be like, oh, Squire's the only version that does this, but there are other ones of these that exist. Like, there are other 1988, 89 Stratocaster reverse Silverburst going on. I saw that reverse Silverburst, had to have it. The pickups in this thing from 1989 sounded like doo-doo. But this is a Fat 50s kit I got off a guy who didn't have it wired up right, so I just had to rewire it the correct way. It's got the vintage color, which I really think makes this thing pop instead of the white on white on white on white on white sort of thing going on. But yeah, so basically I changed that out. Put locking tuners on here. And this thing sounds really good. Alright, not really a whole lot to say about this one. It's a Frankenstrat. I put some old vintage Schaller tuners on it that have made in West Germany on it, so that's pretty cool. Because I don't know if you know, West Germany's not a thing anymore. I've had a lot of fun with this guitar. I put an original Floyd Rose on here. The D-tuner doesn't really seem to work for some reason. I don't know if that's a D-tuner or the Floyd Rose's fault. And this thing has a really rough time staying in tune. It's kind of a battle all the time. But yeah, I mean, it's still pretty sick. Like I said, it definitely has all the mojo of, But yeah, pretty cool. Definitely not worth $2,000. Another thing I got used. You can get one for $1,200. You get a luthier to work on it. Yeah, but a lot of people say that they normally don't have any problems with these, and so it must just be me. So take that for what you will. Still love it though. Okay, well, that's the first part of the guitars that Studio 309 has in their collection. I hope you liked it. Let me know which one was your favorite so far. Stick around for part 2. And yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.